I just saw the first images of the G Master 24-70 come across on Sony Alpha Rumors. Two things. One, you guys know that I'm not someone who likes to talk about things that I don't have, or talk about things that I haven't used. And then two, I am not someone who really responds to rumor sites. But I think this is interesting for three reasons. One, I think Sony should have found a way to make the 24-70 G Master version 2 a 2.0, like a constant 2.0. One of the reasons that Jared Polin said that he's kind of inching towards Canon is because they have that 28-70 2.0. I think that Sony could have really made a splash in the water by making this version 2 a constant 2.0. And I think that to really rival that Canon lens, left it at 24, made it a 2.0, and I think that it would justify the price of what you're gonna pay for a G Master. And I would even think that people would be more willing to pay more for the G Master lens if they knew that they could get a constant 2.0 throughout the 24-70 range. Which brings me to my second point, and here's why I think the 2.0 is really important. The 24-70 market for the E-mount system is so saturated with really good 24-70 options that I don't know that people are really willing to go out and spend G Master prices for a 24-70. All right, so what they're saying is that that it's going to be like 2,100 pounds and it's already 2,400 euros, which probably means that this is going to be somewhere between $2,300 and $2,400, you know, for this G Master. You can get the Sigma 24-70 right now for $1,100, and it's a fantastic lens, super sharp. I mean, it's got everything that you want, the bells and whistles. It's really premium lens. I don't know how much more you can do with a 24-70 2.8 that would justify a $1,000 difference. The only two things that I can think of is one, people wanting to use this lens in tandem with the A1 and really get their 30 frames per second when they're not shooting in RAW, when they're not shooting in the uncompressed RAW, to really get that 30 frames per second maximization. And secondly, people who have A7 4s to have that focus breathing compensation really work with this lens. Other than that, I don't know that there's $1,000, I don't know what you could possibly add that would justify a $1,000 difference or an $1,100 difference. You can see in the photos that there is an iris lock, and it looks like the lens is gonna come in at like 695 grams. So an iris lock and lightweight. But other than that, you can get a Tamron's 28-75 for really cheap. I got mine for something like $700. They even have the G2 that you can get for $900. Rokinon has just come out with a really good 24-70. The space is just so saturated with 24-70s that I don't know that I would, unless Sony comes out and blows our mind, that I would be able to justify an $1,100 price difference from all of those other budget 24-70s. So it should have been the 2.0, should have been a constant 2.0, right, to really shake things up. So I feel like Sony is missing an opportunity right there. Secondly, the 24-70 space is really saturated. And then here's the third thing that I think Sony is really overlooking, and why I think this is going to be a major misstep. The 16-35 G Master is just as old as the 24-70. I really think that Sony should be releasing the 16-35 version 2 now, ahead of the 24-70. And here's why. Video is king right now, right? Everybody's pushing video. TikTok blowing up. Instagram is really pushing, Reels. YouTube seems to be the place to be, to grow your presence on internet. I'm pretty sure that Twitter is gonna find some way to squeeze themselves into that market. And the 16 to 35 is the most versatile video lens, especially when you're pointing the camera at yourself for vlogging, or just being able to point the camera at yourself, see your surroundings, and have the versatility of that. On top of that, there's no other contenders right now in the 16 to 35 space. Tamron is the only other lens company that's making a kind of 16 to 35 contender. The 17 to 28 is a really good lens. Don't get me wrong, I owned it, I loved it, I lamented having to sell it. I think that Sony really did a good job with the 16 to 35 power zoom, the f4, but I think that only gave people just a kind of taste of what Sony could do if they brought out like a new 16 to 35 2.0. I really think the 16 to 35 should be their next step, just because of the versatility, just because of how much everyone is just pushing video, on social media right now. But those are my 3 reasons. One, I really think Sony should have made this lens a 2.0. Maybe they have something up their sleeves with a 2.0, but I think they should have made this lens to be the one that contends with the Canon lens. 2, I just think the 24 to 70 market is just so saturated that this isn't the lens. I just don't know that this lens is gonna do as well as Sony wants it to. And then 3, I really think that the 16 to 35 G Master version 2 is needed and would have been what everyone really wants. But you guys let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this new 24 to 70 G Master version 2. Is this a lens that you guys have been waiting for? And then what do you guys think? Do you think I'm right that Sony should have released the 16 to 35 version 2 first, just to kind of follow up the stellar 70 to 200? Anyway, I'm Jamil. This has been A Boy Named Jamil. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.